All right. Welcome back to the Forest Brothers podcast, first episode of the year 2025. We here. It's been a break, but it's good to be back with my two brothers, Mangoro and Sangi. Happy New Year, brothers! Happy New Year. Just say hello to the listeners real quick. I'll start with the boy Samson and then to the boy Mangoro, and then we can get started with the episode here.
Yeah, dear listener, welcome back to the Forest Brothers podcast. Here with my two brothers, Mangoro, Mutsa. It's great to see y'all. Happy New Year to everybody. And yeah, Chance, let's get this show on the road now.
Yeah, what's up, listeners? Forest Brothers podcast is back. The brothers are here. I'm here, you here. So yeah, let's get the show on the road, man.
Show on the road indeed. All right, so in this episode, listener, we are talking about Tottenham Hotspur and Man United, essentially. But we there's no way we could start this episode or this year without actually really talking about Spurs, because I feel like we are on our worst run in history. I don't even have the words anymore, because it's funny that we're recording this episode today, because I don't know, this is the lowest I've ever felt about Spurs. Like that game, that Carabao Cup game that we played against Liverpool. I'm telling you, I'm usually mad after Spurs games, but that lasts maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm like, and then I go on about my day. But that semi-final, man, I think I spent a good 3-4 hours just in the trenches. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck? Yo, 0 shots on target.
Yeah.
In a semi-final. You know, I all you had to do was park the bus. You're going to Anfield, you're playing Liverpool, best team in Europe, apparently. You know, they say the best team in the world right now. Mo Salah's on fire, Gakpo's on fire. Why are you not parking the bus? Why are you not we have a goal advantage? Just park the bus, man. Damn it. And yeah, we lose 4-0. Not even a fight in place. Not even. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is not a team that wants to win anything, ever. This is, we deserve to get bantered the way we do get bantered. We deserve every piece of it. So anyway, Ange out, Levy out. I'll start by saying that. Definitely out of his depth. But there's also the argument that we're losing 10 of our first team players. I don't know what you guys think, if that makes a difference or not, because they do say that we have a lot of injuries right now. We're playing a lot of kids. We bought Kinski out of necessity. I don't know where they picked him up from, but he's clearly trash. So,
they got him from Slavia Prague for 10 million.
Yeah, I think it was even like 12.5, right? Yeah, somewhere like... I don't even know,
Doesn't
man.
matter.
I don't know which scout was looking at the Slavian League. Who the fuck was that guy? Why are you looking at the Slavian League for a goalkeeper? Of all things. Like, clearly we needed someone to be a first-team keeper. Why are you going... Like, if he was like someone we bought as a backup, and he's gonna learn, he's young, and he's like learning behind Vicario, I can be like, I get the vision, I get that, but we need a keeper right now. Man, I don't know, man. And today we lost Aston Villa as well. In case the listeners are not aware, we lost 2-1. So we also got knocked out of the FA Cup. So the only cup left for Spurs, because Premier League, we're definitely winning that. There's like a 5% chance we can win, but
5.
Yeah, we're not winning that. So the only hope we have now is Europa, and hey, man, that's the hardest one. So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not. But anyway, let me turn over to you, brothers, man. Like, what are your takes on Spurs in this current moment?
I'll say the real question we should be asking ourselves is, what is the expectation for Spurs each and every season? Because I think I mentioned it, a few episodes ago, where I was like, a top 8 finish is a good season for Spurs, and it was laughed out of the park. And now they're sitting in 13th, 14th, and it's like they're struggling. And I'm like, what is the expectation? So each and every season, we need to ask ourselves, what should we expect? And I do mention this. There's a reason why quality costs the price that it does. When you're buying keepers for 10, 12 million out of the Czech league, this is the quality you get. That goal that went in, I think I saw him in his first game. I think his first game was it Liverpool?
Yeah, it was. We did well.
When he was thinking that he's ball playing, and I was like, this is a disaster waiting to happen. And the next games, we saw what transpired. You brought in Danso, I think Dancer used to play for Southampton and they got relegated. Like you brought in, well, Disasi said no. Like when Axel Disasi says no to you, like there should be something there, as well as Tomori. Like they say no to you, and Tell said no to you 100 times until you said you're gonna pay his all his wages and there's a 10 million loan fee. That's when he decided to come. So it's just a sad state of affairs. I do get the injury thing from the Spurs front, but in all honesty, for me, like Spurs, like this is who they are. Like if you built a house using terrible material, this is the result you're gonna get. And what is the ambition? The ambition is what exactly? We should ask ourselves. I think this is the question you Spurs fans have to like ask the owners, Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, and them. What is the expectation for us as a club? Is it to be just in the Premier League? Is it to be in the top four? Is it be just to hang out there? Because like I look at Son, I look at all of them, they're distraught. Like, but that's just my take. I don't know. It's like Spurs for me, like I think this is just who they are, and we just need to accept them for who they are.
Yeah, and just to add on there, Antonin Kinski. I mean, are we sure we don't want to just empower the black brother that's behind him? Brandon Austin. I mean, are we sure? I feel like the brother deserves a chance after today. I mean, surely. And also, man, I mean, Mangoro's expectations for Spurs. I mean, yeah, I'd say I was expecting Spurs to still be in the top six, like the traditional top six. I thought it would be a struggle to still be in there because you're adding another competition. And last year we saw how Ange's system is not great for player fitness, and this is not anything new for Spurs. Conte ran the squad into the ground as well because he also has a very demanding system. But typically, with systems that are demanding like this, once you get a full preseason underneath you, you're able to adapt. But the thing about Spurs is that they seem to have gone worse because last season you had injuries, but it's nothing compared to this year. Like this year, there were times where like you haven't had a starting back five. Like the starting back five that you started the season with was not there. Like none of them. Even Poro went down at some point. So yeah, I think Ange has to take a good look at himself, because like, you can blame a lot of people. You can blame Levy for not making enough signings. You can blame, officials because I know Spurs have had some decisions that they didn't like this year. You can blame a lot of things, but like the point is the way you play Ange, the way you set this team up, the amount of sprints your players have to do each game is causing way more hamstring injuries than any other club. I don't even think in Europe. I think they're at the top in Europe because it's insane. And these are players who didn't have injury problems coming into Spurs. They're starting now. So I think Ange is, he has to be the number one guy here to question. Because again, this team, like talent-wise, I don't think they're that bad. Like, I really don't think Spurs are so bad that they should be in 13th. Like, I don't think Spurs have seen the top half since November. Like, this is... How? How is that even possible?
Amen.
And the month, you can't even say money hasn't been spent, because that's the thing about, like, Levy. Like, Levy, sure, he creates an atmosphere that is terrible. And I accept that. But even in that terrible atmosphere, like, there's people like Solanke who've come in, 60 million. There's people like Madison who've come in. Van de Ven is a very good center back. You still have Romero over here. Poro. Jed Spence has been lying in reserves for years, but he's really good. Like Kulusevski. You managed to finesse him from Juventus, who again just keep selling young players. I don't know what's going on with them, but you have a decent enough squad. I don't understand how it's gotten this bad. And I feel like, Ange, realistically speaking, I think the expectation should have been win a domestic cup, just one. I think that was going to be success for Ange. I wasn't sure it was going to happen in 2 years. I thought maybe 3 years, just because it's been a long time, and you need to get that winning culture going. But the way he's crashed out this year, it just does not inspire confidence. If he at least, gave Liverpool one goal, just one, in that Wednesday game, let the game finish 2-1 or 3-1, I'd be like, you know what, Ange? It's Liverpool, it's Anfield. You gave it your all, team is decimated. But 4-0, man. It was 4-0. And then you follow that up with this performance against Aston Villa. 2-1 actually flatters you all.
Yeah.
That was a 5-0 game.
It was. Ramsey could have scored at least a hat trick today. I don't know. He just couldn't finish. I was very surprised. Yeah. Ramsey and was it Rodgers? It was mostly Ramsey who missed his chances.
Yeah. So, I think Ange, and again, he defends his system more than anyone else. He's as stubborn as Guardiola. And we spoke about this in December, Muta. I was like, this is not Barcelona. Okay? The things he's asking Bissouma and Sarr to do, Bissouma and Sarr have never played like this in their lives. They have no idea how to play the way Ange wants them to play. Pedri can do it, yes. There's a handful of players in the world of football who can play the way Ange wants his midfielders to play. But these guys can't. And it's like you just have to adapt. You have to do what's possible. And man, I have no more words, man.
I actually want that brother Bissouma to get arrested, man. Worst guy on our team, for real. Like, ish. Yeah, no, but you're right. Because our team is at that stage where that's the thing though. That also pissed me off about the Liverpool game. We don't have everyone. Like, pump the bus. Like, winning that first game against Liverpool, that was a Hail Mary. That was a God-given gift. One hand was already on the title. I'm sure we're going to go lose to Newcastle in the final anyway. But still, just getting to a final would have been good for morale, But all you have to do is just go and just fill that box up with I don't care if it meant the entire 90 minutes is spent with Liverpool just trying to put the ball in any little crevice because every Tottenham player is behind in that goalpost. Everyone just standing there for 90 minutes there without moving from this position. I would have respected that tactic. Very unsportsmanlike, but it gets the job done. Everyone just stands there. Just don't even play out for a minute. Just all of you stand in there for 90 minutes. That's all you have to do. That would have been way better. But yeah,
and it's this weird thing, and we spoke about it early in the season with the Southampton manager in Russell Martin, where it's like these new age coaches who come in and they're all philosophy. You've forgotten the whole point of being a coach, which is results. Are you going to win or are you going to lose? That's why you're hired, man. That's why you have a job right now. Wins versus losses. And Ange, it's like he's so committed to the idea that he would rather lose playing the right way than win. And which is it's madness. That sort of thing could work in Yokohama. It could work there in the A-League. It could work in Celtic. My guy, Spurs are spending hundreds of millions a year, man. It's not going to work here. It really isn't.
Yeah. Hey, it's and on the injury thing, Tanganga actually spent a lot of time injured at Spurs. He left, and I think he plays for Millwall now in the Championship. He's not caught an injury since he left. He's played every single game. So there's clearly something that the medics at Spurs are doing. Because again, remember, Richarlison, for example, that was his second game back from injury. He's injured again. He's out. I don't know what's happening with Madison. I don't know what's happening with him. Son, obviously, I think Son can't carry everyone on his back like that. He's just not. I think he's done it for so long. He's tired, man. So, hey, man. So I don't know. I just don't know what to do about Ange. Mangoro, if I think Ange loses his job, actually, I think tomorrow we'll wake up with news that Ange is out. The only reason why I think he even lasted this long is because it's the title. We're still in some cups, right? But now that we've lost this one, Europa League still has a long way to go. I honestly cannot see him surviving past today. I think he's getting sacked next week. That's my prayer. But anyway, I was gonna let me bring it to who do you believe should come in at Spurs if Ange does get sacked? Like, what, or should he even get sacked in your opinion? Because some people are saying Ange is not the problem, it's Levy, it's management, it's all these other people, and they should also go. I want Levy out, although I don't think that'll ever happen. So Ange is definitely like, the only person that I can hope gets fired at least. But I don't know who else is out there, coach-wise, who can guide us into some respectable position in the league. So anyway, Mango, who do you think, who's available actually right now, who could actually want to take the Spurs job?
There's no one available who'd want to take this job. When you have Kinski in goal, you have Dragozin. I think he's also injured now. You have Bissouma. You have some of the guys that you have. So I don't think any sane manager would want to take this job. But I'd say to you and all the Spurs supporters out there, I don't see him losing his job, interestingly enough. Tomorrow we'll wake up and there'll be a Fabrizio statement saying that he retains the full backing of the club. So that's going to happen. I think there's nothing there. I think the only time where a decision will be made is at the end of the season. I don't see any decision being made now because what is there to salvage this season? Besides getting to 40 points. There isn't much to salvage at this point. I think they're just going to reevaluate the situation over the summer and see if there is managers out there. I've heard some people talk about Andoni Iraola, someone that could potentially want to do that, but I don't know if he'd want to tarnish his little reputation that he has now that he's gained at Bournemouth. You can't have Nuno. You've already destroyed Nuno, so... Like the options are very limited for Spurs, and not unless you can pluck someone from from Celtic or from some funny leagues, like you did with Ange. So it's just very interesting to see. But I think the crowning moment, I think for me personally, is Eric Ten Hag. He's out of a job, and he's a philosophy guy. He would be the cream of the crop. It would be a full circle moment, and it would be one that I'd be here ready to witness and enjoy each and every day of. So
you know what? Let me say this. If we get Eric Ten Hag, I'm telling you guys, I am shaving off my beard, I'm shaving off my locks, and I'm going full bald. Like, I will do that. Listener, if we sign Ten Hag, I'm shaving off everything. I'm taking off everything. I'll have nothing left. I have absolutely nothing left. I don't even know. Like, that's... You know what, though? We just need to bring a coach who's defensive minded. I don't care. I don't even care about winning games, because right now in the league we've got 27 points, right? And Leicester are only 10 points behind us. We're only 10 points behind the relegation battle. Like, that's 3 games. And seeing where we're going right now, we're definitely losing those 3 games. Like, we play Man United this next coming weekend. It's very, very possible we lose that game, right? And then we still have to play some other tough teams. So those 10 points, it's not a big gap. So I just if we bring in someone, I just want someone who parks the fucking bus. Like, even if we bring back Mourinho from Turkey, I know you'd come back. I don't know if Mourinho would ever come back. I think
he would not come back.
That ship has sailed. Yeah, that bridge is burned. Yeah, I
don't
know.
The thing about Spurs is funny is that you guys had 3 guys who parked the bus back to back to back. You had Mourinho, you had Conte, you had Nuno, and the fans booted those guys from the club because you guys thought it was boring, it didn't work, and admittedly, those guys had their own issues. Like Mourinho fell out with players. You saw that in the documentary. Like, it was actually televised. Mourinho falling out with people in real time. We saw it. Nuno just sucked. And, he can try to sanitize his reputation with Forest here as much as he wants, but we know the truth. You had the resources, Nuno. We saw you at Spurs. You had Harry Kane, for crying out loud, and you are garbage. Just garbage. But so that don't understand. But Conte, you guys, as a club rejected Conte. Like, Conte came in, and he actually, if you look back, he wasn't doing too bad. I think he left when you guys were top 8 or top 7, something like that. It wasn't that bad, but you guys didn't like the football. He was complaining about making changes. He didn't like the mentality around the club. And, you guys just weren't willing to make the changes necessary to accommodate him. So off he goes. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, at some point, Spurs have to just stick with what they have and see it out. I think what Mongoro is saying is right. See it out until the end of the season. And at the very least, and this is why you should have ownership that understands football, because a good director of football would be pulling Ange to the side and saying, hey, you are on a performance improvement plan from now until the end of the season. I want to see you actually make an effort to win games instead of throwing opportunities away by not play. Like, you have a very talented young player, Mikey Moore. He's been rotting on the bench for half a season.
He's good.
Had wingers. Yeah, he's good, right? Wingers have been getting injured left, right. Like, that boy hasn't gotten a chance until like last month. You should be like, and you guys spent a lot of money on him. Like, if I'm the director of football, I'll be pulling Ange to the side and saying, hey, you are costing us games. You are stifling development of young players. I need to see a change. If I don't see something, you're gone. Like, work with him. Try to get him to improve. If he doesn't improve, then get the next guy. But whoever you get, whoever is in that seat, Spurs needs to back them as much as possible, because in the past, hey man, it just hasn't been there. And that's why where we are.
Could I quickly add? I just learned this. Spurs truly is a circus. You're speaking on the sporting director at Spurs, director of football. How is he going to do a job when FIFA banned him? Fabio Paratici was banned. So I don't know how they're running things there at Spurs. Like, who recruited Kinski if the person that's supposed to be doing recruitment was banned by FIFA and he's not in the role anymore?
What? Where was
Is
he
it
banned?
Daniel Levy? I don't know. There's something related to maybe his scandals back at Juventus or back in Italy. So these cases, they always come to catch up with you. Like, it's just weird what happens there at Spurs. And knowing that he has this case hanging over his head, you still want to hire him? Like, what is going on there at Spurs? Like, honestly. But Mutta, it's your club at the end of the day. You support them. Samson proposed a new team to you today to start supporting. Maybe you won't be having any more chest pains. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm certainly not gonna lie to you. The chest pains this week they've been painful. I've been going, like, as a Spurs. I've never been bantering anyone for the last 2 weeks. I've just been I just don't have it in me, guys. Like, I'm so, even today I almost didn't even want to watch the FA Cup game against Villa. Like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna finish showering and I'll probably catch like the game at like 5 minutes onward. I get out of the shower, I'm like, actually the game just started. Let me just see what the score line. I mean, still, the first 2 minutes we'd already conceded the goal. I was just like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. We considered a goal in 58 seconds, guys. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Listen, I feel like I'm onto something, man. Everton, they have a new stadium coming. David Moyes, he recently won a European trophy with West Ham. That's a builder right there, man. Like, that's a man you can trust. So if Spurs fans are trying to jump ship, that's a project you can jump on, bro. Like, it's going to be fun. No expectations, brand new stadium, just vibes.
I don't know about those vibes. I don't know about fighting relegation. Hey, man, I don't know. But we were supposed to talk about Man United, but I think we'll probably talk about them in the next episode, because that also needs some time. I think this can just end at a Spurs. Well, thank you for hearing my cries about Spurs, because, hey, man, I don't know. It's. I actually have nothing to say. I have no words. Jed Spence played 5 different positions in that game against Liverpool. Like, I saw him on the right wing. I saw him as a left back. I saw him as a centre back. I saw him as a striker. I was like, what are they doing to this poor boy, man? But I have to say though that he's actually impressed me. Like that guy looks like he's got some fight in him. So I don't know why he was in the sidelines for so long. Like he's clearly a talented youth. If he sticks to one position, I'm sure he can flourish. I'm happy Dragusin pulled a hammy or turned his ACL. Thank God for that. Sorry, Dragu, but hey, man, we're worse with you than without you. So, but I think I don't have any more to say about Spurs, boys. Is there anything left, or we can just end this episode?
Hey man, I'll just say Spurs. At least you have young players who, if Ange isn't the right guy, hopefully you get a coach who's going to prioritize young players because there's a lot of exciting young talent at Spurs. Archie Gray has really impressed me. The guy looks comfortable just any way he plays. I know he's really a DM, but center back he looks solid. Left, right back he looks solid. Like that's something you should be proud of. Jed Spence, obviously. Mikey Moore, I haven't seen much of him, but the little bits I've seen, he seems like an exciting young player. So yeah, there's bits to be excited about. Just up top, things need to be figured out. Whether that's the coach, director of football, ownership, just everything above the team has to be figured out. So hopefully you guys figure it out.
I hope we get like a young coach. That's all I hope for. Maybe if we get a young coach, that'll be the hope. Mangara?
Long may it continue. There's competitions for us on the other side of the table, so I'm happy as we're going through this transition phase as well. We have less competition, so Spurs, you're doing a great job, and just continue in your ways.
Hey man, well, I think that's a healthy way to end it. I suppose. So, listener, thank you very much. For the Spurs fans that are listening, I know it's tough. I know it's hard. If you need to see a man who expresses my full frustrations about Spurs, there's that brother there on the internet, Mr. What's his name? Expressions? What's that guy's name? Yeah. That dude gets it. That dude really does get it. So if you need to just see someone who like can fully articulate my thoughts about everything that's been happening, go see that brother. He's quite expressionist. He's quite expressive. That's the word. Yeah. But with that, listener, thank you very much, and we will catch you on the next episode.